Here are my note cards front to back. Domestic violence by Yana Lawyer. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, domestic violence is defined as inflicting a physical injury by one family or household member on another. My grandmother, Genevieve Parks, is 89 years old. She was born and raised in Bronx, New York, and now she lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. She was a victim of domestic violence. At the age of 22, she thought she was in love and married a man she thought she couldn't live without. After about 2 months into the marriage, she started to become a different person. She was affected from this abuse and started to distance herself from her family. Today, I want to share with you 3 things I learned about domestic violence, which is the signs, the psychological effects that it has on the abuser, and how we can end domestic violence. My mother and aunts knew there was something wrong with my grandmother because before this event occurred, she was the most joyful person you knew, but it all started with them noticing the signs. My mother started to notice injuries on my grandmother, on her body, and she always had an answer from where it came from. She seemed to isolate herself at special occasions. She used to be the most sociable person in the house, but then started to stay to herself. She locked herself in the room to prevent people from questioning her injuries so that she didn't have to explain anything to anyone. This event became so significant to her because it started to affect her psychologically. My grandmother always had a great bond with her girls, but everything changed suddenly. She became depressed, always crying, and never smiled. You could say she was hopeless. She stopped holding conversation with her girls, which was something she did often. She even stopped cooking with her girls. She stopped all the activities she enjoyed to be cooped in her room. Eventually, everyone couldn't stand to see her like this anymore, and her best friend told her to do something about it because it was affecting her and the relationship she had with her girls. So she packed her and her girls' bags and moved to Knoxville, Tennessee. Once they moved into their new house, you could see the changes in her attitude and behavior. She was more than happy once again, and her girls loved every moment of it. I'm so glad I was able to get out of that situation. I was in that relationship for about a year, and I could never replace that time I lost with my girls. But I'm so happy that chapter is done in my life, and I could move forward and be the parent I should have been, said Parks. So what are some ways we can end domestic violence? We should learn the signs of someone going through domestic violence. If there's someone you know going through domestic violence, you should offer support and ways to get out of the situation. You can contact authorities, or you can contact authorities if someone may be scared to do so themselves before it's too late. Try to stay aware of it, and we can also try to stay aware of it. I thank you for sharing my story to your peers so that they can warn people that may be going through the same thing I went through. It's not worth your life to stay in a relationship that's going to bring you down, said Parks. Today, my grandmother is still alive because she had people that love her and didn't want anything to happen to her. So please be aware of the signs, the psychological effect domestic violence have on our lives, on our loved ones, and let's try to avoid this situation. Thank you.